She actually joined this club 10 months ago. She comes about 6,000 miles away. She speaks 6 different languages. When she joined this club, she came to me and said, Jeff, what can I do to help this club? We had a secretary that got sick, couldn't come any longer. She took over secretary. And then again, this term, she took over the job as secretary. This woman is fast in coming to being a great Toastmaster. Every time I need for her to do something, she's right there getting it done. She has completed her CC manuals. Wow, less than 10 months. You set a record. Usually it takes people a year. You did it in 10 months. That's for our guests. That's 10 speeches out of the first manual. And today she's going to do her first speech in the storytelling manual. Her goal is to become a motivational speaker. She wants to also become a distinguished Toastmaster, and she is confident, with the help from our club members, she will make that. Fellow Toastmaster guests, please put your hands together for this Toastmaster, Poonam, Caballer.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guys. She was a beautiful little mermaid who lives in an underwater kingdom with her dad, her grandma, and her 6 sisters. The 6 sisters were very beautiful, with long hair, each born a year apart. Every year when one of them would turn 15, she was allowed to go to the surface and explore the world and the humans. And then they would come back and tell the little mermaid all sorts of stories about the humans. When the little mermaid turns 15, she ventures to the surface, sees a ship with a very handsome prince, immediately falls in love with him from far. Suddenly, a terrible storm hits and nearly drowns the prince. The little mermaid rescues him and takes him to the shore, unconscious, near a temple, where she waits until a young girl finds him and saves him. The little mermaid disappears and the prince never sees her again. Grandma, do humans live after they die? No, answers Grandma. Humans have a shorter lifespan than us mere folks who live 300 years, and then we disintegrate into sea foam and we cease to exist. Whereas humans, after they die, their soul lives eternally. The little mermaid, longing for an eternal soul and her prince, visits the sea witch, who sells her a potion for her legs in exchange for her tongue, since she has the most intoxicating voice in the world. But you have to be careful. Once you become human, you will never be able to live in the sea again. The potion is going to be very painful, but then you're going to have 2 beautiful legs, and you are going to dance like no one has ever danced before. And then you're going to get a soul. If the prince loves you and marries you, then part of his soul will flow into you. Otherwise, if the prince doesn't love you and marries another woman, then at dawn, on the very first day after his marriage, you will be disappointed. You will disintegrate into sea foam and cease to exist. The little mermaid drinks the potion, feels the pain like a sword cutting into her body. Her feet are bleeding terribly. She still goes to the surface, dances for the prince. He likes her, even though she's mute. He asks her to dance more. So she dances and dances with excruciating pain. One day, the king decides to marry his son to the neighboring princess. Oh no, the little prince is so disturbed. He goes to the Little Mermaid and he says, I want to marry the girl who rescued me. The Little Mermaid's heart starts throbbing. And then he adds, I want to marry the girl from the temple, believing that that girl is the one who rescued him. And it just happens that that girl is a princess, and so they get married happily. The Little Mermaid was very disappointed. She thinks of all the pain she had to go through. She thinks of all she has given up. And now she's freaking out, thinking of the death that awaits her. Just before dawn, her sisters bring a knife that the sea witch exchanged for their long, beautiful hair. What a bitch! If she slays the prince and drip his blood on her feet, she will become a mermaid again and live life fully. But the Little Mermaid was very kind-hearted. She did not want to kill the prince who was lying by his bride. So at dawn, she throws herself in the sea and dissolves into sea foam. But she can feel the warmth of the sun. She has become a spirit. She is a daughter of the air. You have become the daughter of the air like us, because your heart strove for an eternal soul. And to get an eternal soul, you have to do good deeds that will eventually rise you to the kingdom of God.